Hi, this is Dave, and in this video we're going to look at a dot stabilizer, and we're going to look at the adjustment and how it works. First, the parts. So this is the dot stabilizer here. Okay, this is the stabilizer wire, this is the wire set screw, and right back here is the dot stabilizer mounting screw. We just call it the mounting screw. And on the bug, this is the lever arm. They call it the lever arm. It's the pendulum rod. We have two contact points. See, I may need to move this a bit. There. Okay, there's a contact point here and a contact point here. Actually, there's 4 contact points on a bug, but the dash we're not talking about. We're just talking about the dots now. This is the dot contact spring right here. So what you want when you install one of these is you want the stabilizer wire to run parallel to the dot contact spring, and you want it to touch that spring and actually force it over just about 3 or 4 thousandths of an inch. And we'll look at that towards the end of the video. But what that does is it keeps these 2 contact points from actually sliding in when it's operating, rather than just contacting. Now we're going to listen to it now. It's hooked up, and we'll listen to it with the dot stabilizer on. So you can hear the dots are very, very succinct, and the shaping is basically not, well, I hate to say it, but without the dot stabilizer, the dots sound terrible. So, okay. Now I'm going to pause the video and we'll unhook the dot stabilizer and listen to it. Okay, now I've got the dot stabilizer unhooked. It's sitting back here. It's still on the pendulum rod, but it's not functioning. It's just acting as a bit of weight. So now let's listen. Okay, I have to readjust, and the reason I have to readjust is when that dot stabilizer is on, it pushes that spring in a bit. It pushes the dot contact spring in a bit. I should probably use this. It pushes that in. So now it's out of adjustment. So we will adjust the dot contact screw just a bit. There, now the length of the dots is pretty close to accurate, but listen closely. It's got that kind of a scratchy sound that you get. Okay, I'll pause it again and we'll listen to it again with the dot stabilizer on. Okay, now I've got the dot stabilizer reattached, and let's see what it sounds like. Well, we have to readjust because we pushed the dot contact spring in just a bit with this wire, which is what you want to do. So let's readjust. There. Now you can hear a definite start and a definite stop, instead of a very scratchy sound. So that's what we want. Okay, now we'll pause it and we'll show the installation. Okay, now these aren't too difficult to install, but it probably would help just to show. So first, of course, when you're going to install it, you'll have to take the weight off, and that's pretty simple. Just unloosen the set screw on the weight and slide it off. Okay. Now here's the dot stabilizer right here. So we want to slide it. We want it to go on this way, like this. Let me see if I can get it in the right there. So we want it to go on like that. So what I'm going to do is turn it like this here. Okay. See if we can see it here. Let's back this off just a little bit. We can. There. Oh, probably too much. There we go. So here we go. See, like that. Okay. And we'll lift up the damper arm there, and we'll slide this on like this. And you want to be sure that you have the set screw loosened, which I didn't do. So we'll loosen the mounting screw there, set screw. All right. Now, should slide right on. There we go. So we'll bring it all the way up here and just slide it over the spring. Now you can, if you watch, let's zoom in here. And you can, now, when I slide, see how that moves that spring. Okay, there it is. There it is in its normal position without the stabilizer. Now let's move the stabilizer and watch what happens here. It pushes it back just a little bit. We want this wire to run parallel with the dot contact spring. So we're going to set it that way. We got it pretty close right now. So we'll just tighten the set screw, the mounting set screw there. Just like that. Okay, now put the weight back on. There we go. And now we'll do a bit of adjustment. Okay. Well, it seems to be an adjustment already. Sounding nice. So that's about it. Now, this wire here, when you get your dot stabilizer, this wire will probably need to be bent just a little bit. This screw here can be tightened up with this dot stabilizer not on the bug, and just tighten it snugly. You don't want to go too tight with it, but get it tight. And if you get it just where it's really, really snug, this wire won't move. This is brass. You'll be able to hold this in your hand and should be able to bend this enough to either, it may need to be bent out just a little bit or in just a little bit, because every single bug is different. But that's what you want to do, and you want the dot contact spring, you want that to be pushed in about 3 to 4 thousandths of an inch. Ideally, it can be a little more or a little less, but that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.